Appreciate you guys coming. Obviously, baseball season is here, and we're excited about it. Open up this weekend at NC State. It'll be a great challenge for us, but we had a really good fall. We had a great off season, and then the preseason the past 3 or 4 weeks has been outstanding. So we're excited about our ball club and excited about the challenging schedule we're playing in the preseason of non-conference, and we're looking forward to get going.
Questions?
Found one for all three of you. How much further along is this team at this time now, as opposed to last year when you first came here?
Yeah, I mean, it's night and day from a lot of different areas, right? You know, as a coach and coaching staff, we've been here for over a year, so we've been able to, you know, establish some things that we believe in. But the biggest thing is where we're at from a talent standpoint. You know, with players that we have returning, like these 2 guys, along with guys that we brought into the program. And one thing that we were not last year, we were not healthy at all. And we're, knock on wood, we're in really good health right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a really good spot. I mean, our staff does a really good job preparing us. We got a lot of depth at every position, and you know, I think we're prepared and we're ready to go. So.
Yeah, I mean, like Leek said, injuries are big right now. Like we're all healthy, we feel good, bodies feel good, and I feel like that's just a big thing.
Coach, you mentioned the challenging non-conference schedule. NC State, East Carolina's in there as well. How do you approach that part of crafting the schedule?
Yeah, I mean, we look at it as we want to challenge ourselves before we get into A-10 play. And we want to take these guys on the road and play in some environments and play against teams that our ultimate goal is, we know, to advance in the postseason. Most likely, we're going to have to go to a place like that and win a regional and play in a regional and play in an environment like that, whether it's, you know, NC State, it's Chapel Hill, it's East Carolina, it's UVA, and we're going to have to play against that type of competition. So it's a great way to get these guys accustomed to playing in environments like that, against teams like that. You know, and our ultimate goal is to obviously win the A-10 championship, play in the postseason, but we got big goals as a program too. And that doesn't start with me. That started, you know, way back with Coach Guzzo and Coach Keys and Coach Stifler. And to accomplish those goals, we have to challenge ourselves.
Coach, 25 new players on the roster this year between freshmen and transfers. What was the offseason like, and what's it been like getting them acclimated to the program?
Yeah, it was busy. That's for sure. But that's college athletics now. And that's the landscape. And we used different avenues to bring players in, right? We brought some really good high school guys, quite a few junior college transfers. And then we hit the portal, and we hit on some portal guys. We hit on some guys that, you know, had success at different levels, whether it's Division I or Division III. But we also hit on some guys that maybe didn't have the success they were looking for at the other school. They've come into our program, they've developed, they've gotten better, they've gained some confidence. So we've got a really good mix of the type of guys that we brought in, and they've all been very successful.
Riley Rorty came in good among the local kids that you went out and recruited. Talk about what that does for the culture of a program when you've got a good contingent of Richmond area talent.
Yeah, you know, in recruiting, in this lifeblood of the program, right? And it's, for us here at VCU, it's going to start here in the city. And we were fortunate to finally being here and being settled. You know, for that class that's coming next year, we were able to, you know, get some really good players from the area, not only from the area, but the state of Virginia. And that's important to us. Now, we're fortunate to have a really good brand, the VCU baseball brand. You know, we can get kids from all over the country. You know, a guy who will play a lot for us this year is a junior college kid from California. But it's gonna it's going to start here with the city of Richmond, the surrounding areas, the state of Virginia, and then we'll move from there. But we're excited about not only this team, but our future.
What do these two guys' leadership mean to the team? And then for you two, what does leadership look like to you? What does it mean to be a leader of this team?
Yeah, well, these two guys, I mean, they're up here for a reason, right? I mean, Coop's in his 6th year, had a lot of success here. Local guy, loves VCU. He knows how to win here. He's been on teams that have had a ton of success. And then Ike is, a great story, right? He's a local guy. He went to North Carolina to high school, came back to us, and he's an All-American. And the thing about these two guys are great players and great young men, but they work just as hard as anybody on the team. And that's how you lead, by example, how you do everything every day. Never have an issue out of these guys socially, academically, anything, and very proud of the young men that they are.
Cooper, obviously you had some decisions to make this offseason. You decided to come back for a 6th season. What ultimately led to the decision to come back?
The main thing, I just love this team. Coach LeCroy gave me another chance to come back this year, and I wouldn't trade this for the world. I love it here. I love being with the guys. It's like a family to me. I wasn't ready to give it up, and last year kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I want to get back at it.
Eike, what does it mean for you to be recognized as one of the top 10 third basemen in the country?
Yeah, it's a big honor, but I've said it before, it's bigger than that for me. I came here to win, so that's what I'm looking forward to doing, and I think we have a good chance to do so.
How much has that been talked about amongst the team to get back to a regional, get back to that super, possibility of a super regional?
Yeah, we all, guys that have been here last year, we know the taste it left in our mouths, so it's not really something we talk about, but it's something that we each think about every time we step on that field, every time we go lift with Coach Mike, and we know that what we need to do to get back where we want to be. So,
Cooper, do you have to educate or remind some of the younger players about the success that this program has had on the national level, or are they already aware?
I'm pretty sure they're aware of the success we've had in the past, but it's all focused on this year. Like, the past is the past. We're focused a lot on this year and what we're ready to do this year. And Coach LeCroy's got us more prepared than any coach in the nation. I'm very excited.
Coach, scoring runs wasn't an issue for this group last year. Talk us through, from a roster construction standpoint, the effort in the offseason to adjust the pitching.
Yeah, we could, last year, two things that we did really well were score runs, and we played really good defense. And we know that our weakness was our pitching. And a lot of that we couldn't control because of the injuries and the coaching change with the portal and losing some key guys. So our number one thing in the off season and throughout the season as well last spring was to add quality pitching, but also have depth. Because when you have depth and you have competition on your team, it makes everyone better. And we were able to go out and, we signed some really good junior college transfers. We signed some really good portal guys, from the D1 level and the D3 level that have a ton of experience. They're older. They've pitched a lot of college innings. And we've got a couple returners, that have made jumps. That 2 freshmen last year that threw a lot for us, Zach Peters and Brian Curley. They were kind of thrown in the fire, right? And they had some good moments and they had some bad moments. But they're a year older, and they are a year better. They both have really, really developed. Coach Thompson, our new pitching coach, has done a tremendous job with them. So we're excited. We feel like we plugged the holes that we needed to, because we had a good core of offensive players coming back, and we knew that we had to address that in the offseason. We felt like we did.
How has the portal changed your recruiting mindset?
Yeah, I don't think it's just my mindset. I think it's all coaches. But it's always on your mind, right? And in baseball, we we kind of look at it and we tell recruits and their families this. We're still going to recruit the high school student athlete because I think that's the core of your team. But we kind of relate it to professional baseball, whereas the high school and maybe the junior college market is your farm system, and you're growing those guys. And then the portal is kind of like the free agency market, where if you need a shortstop in the big leagues, what do? They go out and sign a shortstop. They need a right-handed pitcher. They go out in the free agent market and sign a right-handed pitcher. So that's the kind of way we view it. But the portal's here. It's here to stay. Whether I like it or I don't, or the coaches out there like it or not, it's here to stay. So it's in play, and this is a great example of the portal right here. I mean, a guy that had limited opportunities at North Carolina, he comes here as an All-American. So there's a lot of positives to the portal as well.
Coach, did any of your players have particularly formative summer baseball experiences where you thought they really benefited?
Yeah, we had quite a few, especially on the position player side. I mean, Ike went out and had a great summer in the Coastal Plain League, then finished in the Cape, and his team made a great run in the playoffs. He had a lot of success. Aiden Hill, who's a guy who will be a guy in our lineup this year who got limited playing time last year. It was great for him to go and play in the Appalachian League and get over 100 at bats and get some experience, and he had success. So those two guys come to mind. From a pitching side standpoint, we kind of held some guys back because of injuries, so we limited those guys. But summer ball is key for the guys to go out, especially if you don't get a lot of playing time. It's time for you to go out and get developed. So it was a good experience for those guys.
Can you speak of your experience of the Coastal Play? Like, I've had some experience covering that.
Yeah.
And just, I guess for the new guys that will be coming in and maybe in that situation where they don't get a lot of playing time, addressing that possibility of playing summer baseball specifically in that league.
Yeah, I mean, I think this kind of pertains to me. I mean, I didn't get many opportunities my first 2 years in school, so getting that opportunity to just get at bats and just play is huge. Especially if you're a young guy, you don't get many opportunities. It's important to just play because, I mean, you never really know what can happen when you get on the field. So
And the
that's
big
kind of
difference with the wooden bat as opposed
Yeah.
to the aluminum.
yeah. I mean, it definitely separates the men from the boys. So if you can find a barrel, then you'll be good.
Coach, you briefly mentioned this, but you made a couple of staff changes, elevated a couple guys over the off season. What have they shown to you? What do those two guys mean?
Yeah, well, we had a change at our pitching coach. Coach Gordon, who was with us last year, ended up taking another job. And fortunately for us, we were able to bring back a former Ram in Sean Thompson, who was an outstanding pitcher here. Played a little professional baseball, then has been in college coaching, and he's done a tremendous job with our pitching staff. Not only from developing pitcher, but he bleeds black and gold. He is a Ram. He knows what it takes to win here at a high level. So it's great for me to bring someone like that on staff. And then we were able to elevate Andrew Llewellyn, who's been our volunteer the past couple years. Fortunately, I was supported by the administration here. NCAA allows Division I baseball now to have 3 full-time assistants, and I was able to elevate him to full-time, and he does a great job with our catchers and assisting with our hitters. So I'm really excited about our staff and where we're going.
Anything else? I got one more. 3 Canadians on your roster this year. Can you give us an explanation of that connection?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's Humane and Campbell Ellis. We inherited from the previous staff, and they were here, and then Nick Frears is a freshman, from the western part of Canada, and we have good connections. Recruiting and finding players is all about people and the right fit for that young man here at VCU. Does he have the talent to be able to play here? And all 3 of them obviously have the talent to be here, and it's just in recruiting, like I said earlier, it's gonna start here in Richmond, but then, it's gonna go everywhere, right? And if the guy can help us win a championship, we're gonna recruit him.
Anything else?
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
guys.
fellas.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.